Hey, welcome to Shelby's vlog. And in this video, I'm going to be telling you guys a ghost story. So, I've always been really interested in ghosts. I've always watched documentaries that have involved paranormal activity. I love hearing ghost stories. I've read a lot of books, watched a lot of videos and documentaries. Well, I never thought it would actually happen to me. I've always wanted it to, but I've never thought that I was gonna be like lucky enough to have a ghost experience. But last summer I got that experience, and it is one heck of a story. So it all begins at the Grand Canyon, and my family and I were gonna travel down to the bottom of the Grand Canyon on the mule train, and our destination was Phantom Ranch, which is at the bottom, and it's a campground slash it has cabins, and it's got like a cafeteria area where everybody can eat and facilities. So we get to the bottom, which was a whole adventure in itself. Like, the mule train was absolutely phenomenal, and the sights were just gorgeous. We got to the bottom, and you can tell that it's very old. Phantom Ranch is about 100 years old. Very, very, very old ranch, old buildings, and you just have the vibe of like you kind of stepped back in time a little bit. So I needed to use the bathroom when we got to the bottom. So I asked the people that worked there where I could use the bathroom, and they said that there's the women's lavatories, you need a key. So they gave me a key, and I quickly went over there because I had to go really bad. And when I opened the door, it sounded like somebody was inside, like kind of rustling around, and I didn't really think much of it at first. I was like, oh, like maybe, someone else had a key, even though they said there was only one. And I was like, maybe, it's someone that works there and they're just kind of refilling, the paper towel or the toilet paper or something like that. But once I got in, the lights were off. So I had to flick them on. I'm like, who's working in here in the dark? And I could see nobody. The bathrooms were pretty small. Like, you would definitely know if someone was in there, and there was no one else in there with me. That was my first experience, and I was just like, that is strange. Sounds like someone was in here. No one was in here. Like, all right. So I go to the bathroom, take him back the key. Well, night comes around, or like dusk, and I really need a shower. When you're on a mule for like 4 to 5 hours, you're really looking forward to taking a shower. And so I, once again, got a key, and I headed over to the women's restrooms where the showers were too. And I opened the door, and it didn't sound like anybody was in there this time, but I did have to flick on the light. So I knew that I was the only person in there. I started taking a shower, and the first thing that happened was a knocking. So I heard an actual knocking, like, in there. And that was really strange. Definitely did not expect that. And so I kind of I peeked out to see if anybody was in the bathrooms with me, and I was still the only one. So I keep showering, I just keep going. Well, this very large gush of cold air comes in through, like, underneath the shower curtain. It was very strange. It was like literally ice cold air. And when you're at the bottom of the Grand Canyon in the summertime, it is hot down there. It is so hot. And these women's restrooms did not have air conditioning. So that was super strange. And I just remember freezing, literally, from the cold air. And it was just like chilling and so unexpected. I'm just like, what is going on? And so I opened the shower curtain again, peeked out to see if anybody had come in, and I was still the only person in there. So at that point, I'm getting a little freaked out. because to me that screams like paranormal. So I'm just trying to hurry up at this point. Well, the last and final thing that really freaked me out was the lights turned off. And I'm just like mid taking the conditioner out of my hair and the lights turn off. And I'm just like, what in the world? Again, I peek out and nobody's in there with me. And at that point, I started singing because I just wanted the ghosts to like know that I was like, meant them no harm. And the singing helped. I was able to finish. I gathered my stuff really fast and I got out of there. And then the rest of the time being down there, I brought my sister with me whenever I went to use those bathrooms because it was freaky, and I definitely got the vibes that I was not the only one in there. And later on, I had the thought, I was like, you know what? It was literally called Phantom Ranch, and it was 100 years old. And I think that I met the Phantom of Phantom Ranch in those experiences. So yeah, that's my ghost story. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Bye.